Good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for day 2 of Salt Flats 2021. Really excited. I've brought with me Ash, or as some people know, EFGC Dad. How you
Hello.
doing today?
I'm doing good. Stream, let me know if you guys can hear me. I'm pretty sure you can, but just double checking.
I think you're good. I think they can hear you. I think they can hear you. Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. So, yeah, welcome to Salt Flats 2021, day 2, presented by TELUS. I'm glad to have you all here. Good morning, rise and grind gamers, as some people would say. Yeah, Ash, I don't know if you've actually intro to a lot of the community yet. So do you want to explain who you are with ASA?
Sure. So I'm Ash. I'm the production executive at the Alberta Esports Association, which means that I am the one responsible for everything that you all see on our stream. So everything that Gobrins was running yesterday was all set up by me. Um, I take all of the overlays that our graphics team does, I set all of them up, and then I make sure that everything is scheduled out. I build out the run of show for everything so that everything can run as smoothly as possible. I am the one that, if I do my job correctly, you shouldn't know that I exist.
And here we are bringing you on camera,
And
of
here I
course.
am just opening out the day. So clearly something has not worked.
Yeah, something has not worked, but that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, I'm really excited for Salt Flats. We already did day 1, and we had a ton of really awesome panels, really awesome tournaments. We got through. I think we did 11 games yesterday or something like that,
Something
and
like
we
that.
have another 12 today. Tons of stuff, and actually, I'm going to bring out my handy dandy guidebook, as most of you
Oh,
can find
I will get mine as
online.
well.
There's a
Exclamation point guide in the chat.
exclamation point guide, exactly. And you can read it online. And today we've got quite a few more games to go. I mean, we're looking at Smash Ultimate, which would have just started for anyone watching the stream and playing an Ultimate. Make sure you check in for your matches. But we also got Tetrio, Tough Love Arena, Pokemon, Valorant continues, Street Fighter V, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Splatoon 2, Diabolical, and Dragon Ball Fighters. So that is a stellar lineup. Of course, we
Yeah,
also have
good
Rock,
lineup
Paper,
overall
Scissors. How could
today.
you forget? Totally. And I think that obviously this is kind of the last day. This is the intense day for anyone in the long format games, and it's the kind of thing that can put a lot of pressure on players to perform. Uh, Ash, I know that you're a big Uniclear fan. You ever been up there at the top? You ever had to be? You ever had that pressure to perform in a bracket?
Yeah, yeah, I have. There was a period of time where I was winning weeklies consistently and things like that. So I've definitely been there where you know that the only thing stopping you is yourself for the most part when you get there. And it's definitely changed the environment for, I know, a lot of people with everything being online. I definitely was one that definitely fed off the energy of everyone else in the room. You've got your boys gooning for you in the back, regardless of who you're playing against and things like that. So it's a little bit different online, but some people are a little bit more comfortable, some people aren't. But at the end of the day, usually the results still work out about the same.
Absolutely. For all the concerns about the dreaded lag that we encounter, I mean, we've improved the systems and really done as best we can with the situation. And I think, like you say, there is the odd upset, the odd moment where you might blame the lag, but for the most part, it still relies on the competitor to do their best. And I'm sure that everyone is bringing their best today. Um, but with that said, speaking of bringing their best and the Salt Flats guide, I do want to make sure that we acknowledge the people that make this event possible. We do have quite a few sponsors for Salt Flats 2021, and I really want to make sure that that who brought this all together. I mean, obviously, TELUS, title sponsor. The whole thing is presented by TELUS. They are phenomenal. They do great things, and they're really really supportive of what we do, and we're very thankful for that. We've also got the Gaming Stadium. Gaming Stadium out of BC is a fantastic Canadian entity that does online events for free as well. And if you are looking for something more to play, if this isn't enough for you, go check out the Gaming Stadium. I really recommend it. Of course, we got Brightside, who's been sponsoring our Rock Paper Scissors event, which is really exciting. We've got more cash prizing for that today, so make sure you don't miss the clock.
Yeah, you're
Mountain
you're
time.
gonna want to be there for that one.
Oh yeah. Yesterday we had, how many did we have? We had 180 something entrants, or I can't remember the exact number. And when it boils down to only 2 people left, it gets really exciting. And it's of course free to enter. Just play from your browser or your phone. Absolutely
Yeah,
super open entry.
let's make it
Um,
200.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, if we break 200, like I would love for that. So please come by, tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone you know. I don't mind. It's open to anyone across the world. Anyone can win. And of course, we've got Explore Edmonton, very supportive of us as well. You'll see a couple of things from them throughout the event. And then we've got Herbaland and United Way Calgary also giving us a hand. They're both awesome companies. I really recommend you support them, obviously for good causes and good nutrition. And of course, with their combined support, we were able to do cool things like create this guidebook for you, create lots of awesome, interesting panels. Let's see, let's do a little run through here, run of show as if you would, for
Oh,
Sunday here.
let's.
Um, Obviously, today we've got we're welcoming you right now. But next up, we've actually got the ASA Insight panel, which if you haven't seen ASA's Insight podcast, Ty Sirkun that runs that, and Ty is a phenomenal lead or moderator, if you will. But we've got the Alberta Squid Swamp and the Third Strike Academy on that one, so it's going to be kind of a conjoined panel. I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, a couple of
Um,
different communities that I don't know how much they've interacted with each other, so should be an interesting show for sure.
it's two very different types of
Very,
community,
yeah.
The Splatoon is the kind of game that you usually associate with like family friendly fun values, and Third Strike you usually associate with absolutely BMing your opponent as much as possible. So
Some
I'm really interested to see how they interact, but I know the people on there are great and it's going to be a good show.
yeah,
um,
we'll have to make sure the Third Strike boys leave the thuggery at the arcade, but they should manage.
Absolutely, I'm sure they will. I have no doubt. Naturally, after that, at 1 p.m., we have the Scriblio drawing experience, where we have a bunch of different content creators from Alberta, like Proton John, Lumpy Touch, It's Jimbo, Pizza, Savvy, and Onyx, and more. It's going to be a really good time. It's going to be just a blast to laugh it up with some of the big names there. Followed up by Rock Paper Scissors, 2 p.m. Don't forget, at 2 p.m. MSD Rock Paper Scissors, free to enter, cash prizing. I can't say that enough. It's like honestly the best thing about this event, in my opinion. Um, then we're going to show off Tetrio finals with the puzzle block. And we're doing another cool thing with that. And I'm not sure, Ash, how much you know about this, but we're doing a battle royale in Tetris. After the grand finals finishes off, we're going to actually open it up to everybody in the viewership chat to join in to play Tetrio. And we're going to do a little bit of prizing there as well. So kind of like the Tetris
We're gonna see
99
just how
experience.
many people can lose to Michael Wong.
Yes, exactly. Though we'll make sure that the winners are removed so that everyone gets a fair chance in the next round, kind of thing.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Then we got sleep optimization in esports with our very own Kristen Q and Jonathan Charist. Follow the fun featuring Little Hellions. We've also got a free for all Celeste speedrun with Nick Fury, Nickography, and Malieve.
You want to
And
tune
then we'll
into
finish
that. That's going to be a good show.
a three-way Celeste speedrun featuring Alberta-based streamers is actually really exciting. I also know one of them recently set a new PB, so.
Ooh. If you've never seen the speedrun for Celeste, it's beautiful.
Yeah, if you like technical gameplay and fast movement, Celeste is a very entertaining speedrun. I highly recommend it. Even if you've never seen the game before, they are doing any percent, so it's going to be lightning quick. None of that sidetracking, none of that going off the side rails. Any skips allowed. It's going to be exciting. And lastly, we finish it off with some game show trivia. We're going to do a little ASA game show trivia show. And we got some prizing for that as well. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you're tuning into the stream all day long, there's lots of prizing, lots of opportunities to get things, but really some really awesome entertainment as well. So I can't recommend enough that you should check in. And before that game show, make sure you read your guidebook. It's a good idea.
Maybe a couple in there that you might want to keep up here.
Absolutely. And one more thing I got is cool to show you is we actually have our little gift boxes for anyone who wins any tournaments today, including rock, paper, scissors. We've got our little gift basket. Hopefully I've got it in frame here. Perfect, I do.
You're good.
Featuring, lots of goodies from Herbaland, Brightside, Red Bull. They got their guidebooks, some Mesa goodies, some stickers and things in there. It's going to be really awesome for anyone who does manage to win any of that stuff, and you can get your hands on a very limited print guidebook here. So with that, that's the important stuff. Ash, I want to hear, what was your favorite moment of yesterday?
What was my favorite moment of yesterday?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I didn't get a chance to catch all of yesterday. I was running the finals of my my Uniclear League that I'd been running, which I now realize that has no audio, so that'll be fun for me to fix sometime this week if I can. But for me, it was probably just the raw display of skill that was the AimLab finals. I'm not someone who I hate guns in general, so I don't like shooting games or first person shooters or anything like that. But just watching someone that good do anything is always very entertaining.
Absolutely, the kind of mouse control that you need to run those kinds of games, and just watching someone. I think the Spider Shot 180 was the one that really, it was for me like a perfect 180, find the target and zip right to it. It was almost
Yeah,
like watching
exactly.
a robot complete the task. It was really quite impressive. Um, and I feel free in the chat if you want to shout out your favorite moment. I'd love to read them out as well. But yeah, for me, I think it was really cool just to see all the different things come together. We had about 9 hours of programming of really awesome stuff, and there's like I loved every bit of it. You know, we had some really awesome stuff. I think the women leadership panel shared some really important messaging. The ACE Checkpoint, the mental health and financial well-being panel, I think was generally just a good thing for everybody. I'm excited to go back and rewatch that one.
Yeah, that's one that I'm gonna have to go and catch the VOD on our YouTube channel.
There's just so much to consume, you know. Like even watching it once, I think there's benefits of rewatching it, and if you know, kind of being half attentive, doing some work. You know, you miss so many important pieces, and there's some really smart. So I'm really 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 excited to you know, enjoy that content, because it will be up on the Esports Alberta YouTube channel later on, probably this week sometime.
Yeah, should be this week.
Oh, and of course we've got in the chat. Don's mini concert was really sick. Yes, absolutely. Don is a phenomenal musician. I really like the Zelda, the little Zelda medley he did. It almost, I'm pretty sure it gave me actual literal chills. So,
Yeah, just
um,
the and any time you play the OOT opening on guitar and it just goes with that open F major 7, it's just so it's
absolutely.
so good.
And I also found, yeah, like I found that Gobrins, our other half of the production, the Saturday show run. He had a very electrifying panel. He was a very, if you've never seen him go, or if you managed to miss it, he's a very, he has the kind of enthusiasm of an individual that you can't, I don't think you can really teach. You know, he's got some this energy that really makes you have your, you know, really excites you yourself. So if you haven't seen
Exactly.
that one, I recommend that one too. But yeah, honestly, that's Salt Flats 2021 so far. Now, I want to take a step back and go back into the history of Salt Flats a little bit, because Salt Flats has been around, for those who don't know, for 8 years now. You see on this guide, it's the 15th edition. The 15th edition of Salt Flats. We ran 15 Salt Flats titled events, and it's been a really awesome experience. You know, it's been something really special to me, because it's really a sign of the community coming together and creating something special. I mean, I'm from Calgary. The event's typically in Calgary, but Ash, you're up in Edmonton,
Yeah.
um, and for us to come together and create something, you know, even in this online perspective, is something very unique and different from what I ever would have expected from this kind of event. And I think that really creating something where people can come together and network and meet each other and be educated and entertained is something I really strive to do. And I think we've done a really phenomenal job. And with no short thanks to all the people involved. I mean, the viewers first and foremost, but the panelists, the tournament organizers, the volunteers, the staff, every single person contribute some major piece of this event. And I know if you're in the Discord right now, you're probably seeing about 1,000 messages in the Ultimate Pools channels, just showing how many people, you know, are needed to make these things happen. And you know, there's about, I think I counted 14 different streams were active in the community for their games in the not in the last in yesterday, and I'm expecting similar, if not more, today. So it's really exciting, and I also encourage anyone who is streaming their perspective, post it in the Discord if you want people to see what you're doing and see your run through whatever game you're playing. I encourage you to. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, let us know. We have a directory in the Discord of every stream that we're made aware of, and we can get you in there, and people coming through can say, "Hey, what's going on here?" Pop by, and maybe they might stay.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great way to make sure that you're known in the community as part of the community, and that's exactly what I want to do. So I'm really happy and really excited for that to keep going. And I think, you know, when I think of some of the memories of Salt Flats, when I think of some of the really awesome times, you know, there's a lot of jokes about the 5 a.m.s, the you know, the really late, you know, overscheduled events back when it was just me running it and there was no other host. For those who don't know, the very first Salt Flats, I was the sole host. I didn't have anyone else because it was the first event. I hadn't planned. I didn't think it was going to be that big. We had 98 attendees on the first Salt Flats, and that kind of blew me away in a sense. But I was running 13 different games, or I think it was 13 different games, and I was calling every single match, reporting every single match, and I was also playing in 7 of those games. So if you want to think about a nightmare of of tournament organization, that was probably one of the least responsible decisions I ever made as a TO.
Yeah, just an absolute planning and executional disaster. But
Yeah, I mean, hey, people enjoyed it. They came back, so
exactly,
I must have done an okay job. But there's a notable moment in there where we had a pool tie twice because it was round robin, and they tied twice. So, and this is back in the day when it was all manual, so I didn't have software to determine the aggregate values of who beats who and
yeah,
who should go forward. So, I've had them all play each other again in a best of one. It's still tied. So I had them play a Falcon free for all in Super Smash Bros. Melee. And none of them played Falcon, and one of them didn't really play Melee. And but that was just the arbitrary rule I decided at the time. And the members involved in that event will never let me forget that terrible, terrible decision. But you make some interesting calls. What else is there? I think I remember Alphakins. For those who aren't familiar, Alphakins is a notable Super Smash Bros. Player in Alberta. There was an event where Alphakins got timed out by his opponent in the winter semifinals, and it was someone he typically beats, and the person who timed him out was working on a new strategy to beat him. And he was rather upset about it. So he came to me and said, "Can you drop me out of my other brackets? I'm going to time out the rest of this tournament as kind of a revenge moment." And sure enough, the next 6 games he played, the next 6 sets he played, every single match went to time. And it went from the bracket was supposed to resolve at 9 p.m. and it ended at 2 a.m. He did win. I got to give him props. He managed to pull it out, but it was a very ridiculous, very ridiculous situation. And it just shows the kind of moments that even the players, even the individuals at an event, can really shape the event and make what Salt Flats really is. Help share that story, help be part of the event in that sense. I also noticed Naotis in the chat mentioning one year we got kicked out of the venue at midnight because that was when the people had to go, like the venue had to close. We still had grand finals of Mystery to play, so we hopped on outside and, and played in the parking lot. No problem. We were playing a couple games. One of them was Break the Ice, the old-fashioned, it's like a board game. I don't actually know what to call it. It's a tabletop game where you hit the ice, the hammer, and the guy falls through. And we were doing that in the parking lot at 1 a.m. in the dark, with cell phone cameras trying to light up the table so people can see, just the kind of things that you don't do nowadays. Hey, look, we've improved the system significantly. But back in the day, that's what it was. It was together and having a great time. And I really want to make sure we hold on to that value, that piece of uniqueness that is an event that isn't focused on who wins, isn't focused on only the esports side of things, but focused on what we all love about gaming, and that's the experiences that we share together. So hopefully you all can still make those experiences despite the transition to online. And I mean, it doesn't have to be Salt Flats, but Ash, I want to grill you. Do you have like a special memory of anything from a fighting game event or some event that you've attended that you think is is part of the reason you stay in the community?
So one of the things that I'll always remember is shout outs to the FGC in Red Deer for hosting an event called Chris's House, which was really convenient for all of us because Red Deer, it's about halfway between Calgary and Edmonton, so everyone can get together. And I played in Undernight and Puyo Puyo Tetris in that event. And this was for Chris's House too. And at this point I was doing production work as well. So I had brought down a bunch of equipment for them to use and things like that, just to help bump up the production value of their event. So I'm going through. I play Uniclear. I make top 8. I think I get like 5th or 7th or something like that. I did okay. And then Puyo Puyo Tetris was like the last event to finish that day, and I was tired. I was ticked off. I just wanted to go eat, get a beer with these people that I hadn't seen in a while. So I played my friend Ben, who in Puyo Tet I had always been like a little bit better than, but not enough to like consistently beat. We usually go back and forth. So we play. in losers finals. It's close. It's down to the wire. It's sloppy. It's not very good play at all, but it's really close, and I just barely edge it out in the end, and I make it back to grands. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm playing against Doug, who I play against a lot, and I know I'm not going to beat. I don't have the mental capacity in me right now to beat him. So I speed ran losing grand finals as quickly as I could. I held down on my Tetris board and just lost out immediately. Okay, there's one game. Puyo board, okay, drop everything, we're out. And then unplugged my controller game 3, and I'm like, good games, Doug, I'm getting a beer.
That's a very spectacular way to exit the venue, I'll tell you that much. But hopefully Doug joined you for the beer after the fact.
He did, yeah. We went and got a beer afterwards and laughed about it.
Good. That's awesome. That's a phenomenal story. I think I think everybody has one or two. I just want to read one or two from the chat. I know Kyo Kid mentioning the trophies. Yeah, we've had some really interesting trophies. Galaxy Gaming Gear usually threw together some really cool acrylics that were really customized. I'll share some pictures in the Discord later. And oh yes, the infamous Calgary Wendy's tournaments. Yeah, everyone has a story, and that's what I love about it. And hopefully you can make a story this weekend and something for yourself. And if you don't, make some friends and talk to people so that you can have that opportunity. I really want to create that same experience.
Yeah, big events like this are definitely, they're about the community first, and everyone organizing it, we don't exist to bring you an event. We exist as facilitators to bring you all together. Even if you look at the programming for today, there's one tournament on today. They're all going on in the background, but that's not the main thing that it's about. The tournaments are what bring us together, but we now are focused on celebrating the community.
Yeah, what a wonderful message. I think that's fantastic. Before we leave off and let you go into the rest of the event with ASA Insight, I just want to share one more story. I remember the salt shaker trophies. I did the first few salt flats we did. I would buy salt shakers and fill them with colored sugar to give away as various prizes, get them etched with the tournament winner of the various games. And there was one year where we decided to 3D print little miniature figures of each games characters from each of the games. And for example, like King of Fighters had one of the girls from King of Fighters. Tetris had Tetris blocks. Smash Ultimate had like Pikachu thrown in there, just little tiny ones. They were like the size of a nickel. And those I remember my mom the day or two before the event was there sitting there with me, helping me just insert these things with a little bit of glue on them into the very bottom of these salt shakers, and then pour sugar over them, and and all this ridiculous stuff. Even my own mother has gotten involved in helping me set up these events, so it really is everybody. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that there's no exclusions. It's really anybody. You can invite your friends, family, anyone you know from anywhere. I really want them to get involved. But yeah, with that, we are good to let you go into the rest of Salt Flats 2021 presented by TELUS. And I hope you enjoy the show, and if you get the chance, come chat with me sometime. I'd love to talk to you.
Yeah, I think that stands for everyone here. But stick around. We've got ASA Insight coming up next, and you'll want to be there for that. We'll be right back.